Y'all, so it is Saturday, April 7th, and I am just sitting in my den and I'm reading a book. Of course, what else would I be doing? I am reading The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I literally just started it, like I'm on page 10. So, yeah, I'm not very far in it, but I'm in a contemporary mood for some reason. I don't really know why I'm in the mood to read contemporaries, but I am. So, and also if it seems quiet in the house, my brother had his prom tonight. He is actually at prom as we speak. So, my parents are staying at a hotel because he's homeschooled. The prom is kind of far away. It's not super far away, but his prom isn't over until 1 in the morning, so they weren't going to drive like home at that time. So yeah, sorry, I'm in my bedroom. I had to grab a book that I wanted to show y'all that I read the other day. So yeah, that is where they're at. So I'm home alone tonight, and it's kind of nice to have the house to myself because first of all I get to have the heat on, and that's always fun. So yeah, because my parents always have the air on. But it's kind of late. I think it's like, I feel like it's like, I think it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. But I'm not tired, and I haven't read all day, but I don't know, I just decided to pick up a book now. I have a few contemporaries that I really would like to read. I think I've just read so much fantasy the past few months that I just kind of need a break from it, with the exception of Harry Potter, of course. I have Harry Potter beside me as well. So, yeah, I'm on Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm on page 162 right now. So, yeah. But I did read a book, I think it was 2 days ago. I read the book Everything by Nicola Yoon. Nicola Yoon, I'm not sure how you say her first name. I really, really liked this book. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It wasn't like my favorite book of all time or anything. Like, it wasn't like, you know, and I'm actually thinking about lowering it to a 4 because I feel like I want to save my 5-star ratings for the books that just blow me away and that I thoroughly enjoy. But then I'm like, do I need to be that picky with my rating system? Like, probably not. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to leave it. I didn't even give it I gave it a 5-star. I rounded up, but technically I gave it a 4.5. But it was really, really good. There was a plot twist in this that I actually predicted, and I don't know why, but I was like, I have a feeling I know what's up with this book, and I was actually right. So, and I wasn't mad that I knew the plot twist because this isn't a mystery or anything or a thriller. This is just a contemporary, so me predicting the plot wasn't a big disappointment, or the plot twist was not a big disappointment for me at all. So, but yeah, it was a good book. I really liked it. I loved Maddie. I thought she was just so sweet, and I really liked Ollie, and Carla. I loved Carla. Love Carla. But yeah, it was just a really cute book, and I just watched the movie last night with my mama because she read this book. We actually read the book on the same day. We were gonna buddy read, but then I was like, no, I want to read Harry Potter, and then like 2 hours after reading a little bit more of Harry Potter, I was like, I kind of want to read this, and so I read it, and yeah, it was good. But I watched the movie. I did not like the movie that much. Yeah. I just did not like the movie adaptation at all. Like, and I just saw Love, Simon recently, and I had read Simon versus Homo Sapiens Agenda, and that movie adaptation was just as good as the book. So I really, really loved that movie adaptation. It was fantastic. I loved it. And they even changed a few things in that movie, and it still was great. Like, it was still great. But yeah, the movie in this, I didn't like it. But yeah, sorry, I'm biting my lip. I've got something on it. But yeah, so I've just been chilling out tonight and, you know, home alone, going crazy, throwing parties and getting crazy. But yeah, so I'm just going to continue reading The Hating Game. I don't really have an opinion on it so far because it's only 10 pages, but my mom absolutely loved that book, and she's been begging me to read it ever since she has finished it, so I'm getting to it now. And I still have this desire to read Harry Potter, but I'm like, you have so many books to read, and, you know, you need to read those. So I'm going to read The Hating Game. If I get bored, I'll pick up Harry Potter, but how my mama talked about it, it sounds like I'm not going to get bored. But me and her, like, okay, so we have such different opinions. So there's 2 books just in this past week that we had completely different opinions on. So it was Turtles All the Way Down and The Upside of the Unrequited. So she read both of those books this week. I gave both of those books a 3-star rating because I didn't love them. I want to reread Turtles All the Way Down, though, because I feel like I'll like it more if I'm not so anxious. Because the reason I gave it a lower rating was because it freaked me out. I kept having panic attacks while I was reading it. Because the mental health representation was just so on point that it freaked me out. But she absolutely loved those books, thought they were amazing, loved them, and I just didn't like them that much. So, I don't know. I might not feel the same way about this book that she does, but we do have times where our opinions are the exact same. So hopefully this is one of those times. But I'm going to go ahead and continue reading, and I'll update y'all later. Also, it's later, like a lot later. It's like 3 in the morning, and I just kind of wanted to do a TBR in this vlog, and I know I generally don't do TBRs, but I'm kind of in a contemporary mood right now, and since I'm in a contemporary mood, I want to go ahead and get all the contemporaries that I would like to read this month. And I'm also just ordered some more contemporaries, so those will also be on the list, but I'll do a haul when I get to that, or when I get them in the mail. So here is my TBR for the month, and I'm sure I will throw in some fantasies, and I'll probably get tired of contemporary after a while, and I'm not saying I'm going to read all of these this month, but I'm in the mood, and I don't know, I just feel like filming this. I don't know why, but here are the ones that I would like to read this month. So the first one I have is Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone, and this book is about a girl named Samantha with purely obsessional OCD, and so I kind of freaked out because I read the first few pages of this, and I had a panic attack because it was like, it's what happens with me, and I have been diagnosed with OCD, but it wasn't like the typical OCD, like the compulsions that I, like, you know, like OCD is like generally, like, just an example is when somebody has to like flip the lights off 3 times before they leave a room, like that kind of OCD. I don't have that, but I have obsessive thoughts. And the first 3 pages in this, or the first couple pages, I mean, like, it literally was a perfect example of what my mind does. So she sees this pair of scissors, and then she starts to think, I need to cut something. Like, I have this overwhelming desire to cut something. And at first it starts off small, and then it builds and builds and builds into something ginormous. Like, it started as small as, I need to cut like, I don't know, a tiny piece of hair like this off of this girl. And then it went to as extreme as, I want to cut my sister's hair off, like a ponytail. Or I want to cut her ponytail off. I have exactly those same thoughts. Not that exact situation, but just like replace it with something like crazy. Like, they're called thought spirals. Like, I'll see something and it'll start off as something really, really tiny, and it expands into something ginormous. And it can like last like up to 2 hours. And I generally do it with car accidents. Like, if somebody pulls out in front of me and almost hits me, I will literally sit for 2 hours and imagine the worst case scenario, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. So it'll start off like not too bad, like maybe he or she will like almost hit me, close call, or then it's like they sideswap me a little bit, like, but it doesn't hit me hard, and it just goes crazy. Like, I'm not going to get too into it. I already feel like I've gotten into it a lot, and nobody probably understands what I'm talking about, but it was damningly similar. So I'm kind of scared to read this book, but I really want to read this book, because if I can read a book about my mental health that's so similar to it, I feel like that would be like amazing, because I've yet to read a book where it's like spot on like this. Like Eliza and Her Monsters and Turtles All the Way Down were the closest I've ever been, but this, I only read the first few pages and I was like, oh my god, like that's scary similar. So yeah, that was a really long explanation as to why I wanted to read that. It won't be that long for the rest of them. The next one I have is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Allery Saynes. I don't know how to say his name. But I've heard wonderful things about this, and I guess it's just about two boys and their friendship. And that's all I really know about it. So maybe it turns into more than friendship. I really hope it does. That would be perfect love story. So yeah, but got that one. Next one I have is We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. And I guess this, all I know about this is it's just about grieving a death. So, and I've had a lot of death in my life, so I feel like this will be a really good book for me to read. So yeah, got that one. The next one I have is History is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. And this is about a man whose ex-boyfriend, died in a drowning accident, and he's just trying to get through all of that. And I guess he meets this new guy and is with him, but he's trying to grieve the loss of his ex-boyfriend. So another book about grieving and death, but I feel like I'll enjoy it. So if you can't tell, I actually, one of my thoughts that I obsess over a lot is death. Like I always am obsessing over death. I'm always thinking about it because it's been such a big part of my life. Like I've experienced so much death or so much near death like experiences within my family that it's just all I think about. So I would like to read about it too, just to help me maybe get through some of the things that I have gone through. But the other book I have is They Both Die in the End by Adam Silvera, another book about death. Yeah, I don't really know what this is about at all. But it sounds interesting, and I love the cover. It's so pretty. So, got that one. The next book I have is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and I heard that this is also a book about anxiety, so of course I want to read it to see if I can relate to it. It's just always so nice to read a book that represents something about you that you generally can't. I just have not ever been able to relate to people in my real life when it comes to my anxiety. It's hard to find people who understand, except my mother. My mother very much understands because she has the exact same thing that I do. So, I mean, her, but nobody else in my life understands. So reading a book that represents it and tells it amazingly, and I just love reading books like that. So hopefully this doesn't disappoint. The next book I have is A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and I have heard absolutely wonderful things about this book. And I guess it's about this guy who's bisexual, and he falls in love with his best friend. I think his name is Percy. Yeah. And they go on these adventures, and I guess that this is a super, super funny book, so I'm really excited to read it. Give me a good laugh. So, got that one. And I guess it's also covers some really heavy topics, so it's also really sad. But I still think it'll be a good book. And then the last book I have is Everything Must Go by Jenny Fran Davis. I have no idea what this book is about. The cover absolutely interested me, and it's so like cute and crazy, but I really would like to read it. So, and I don't really want to know what it's about because I love going into books having not a damn clue what it's about. So those are all the books that I would like to read this month, and I'm sure I won't get to all of them. Well, maybe I will, but I'll probably get tired of contemporary at some point and then go right back to fantasy. But these contemporary books are helping me get out of my reading slump. And I have The Hating Game here. I'm on page 100. It's been kind of slow. I really like the book, though, so far. Like, it's definitely interesting. At first, I was, like, kind of not into it. I was kind of like, I don't really, like, care for this too much. But I really, really am liking it now. So, yeah, it's getting good. So, tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to finish this and then start one of my other contemporaries. Oh, of course, I still have Harry Potter with me. That is also on my TBR this month. All the Harry Potter books except the first two because I've already read them. But definitely Harry Potter is on my TBR this month because I love Harry Potter. So that is all, and I will see you guys in the morning. So it is 7:30 at night, and it's Sunday, so it's a lot later from the last time I vlogged. And in that clip, I talked about some books that I wanted to read this month, and they were all contemporary. And I told y'all I'd probably find some fantasy books that I wanted to read as well, and I do have two that I really want to include in this vlog. So one is a sci-fi book, actually not a fantasy, and it is Obsidio by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. So those are, yeah, this is a book that I'm dying to read. It's the last book in the Illuminae Files trilogy, so I'm so excited to read this, and it's gonna break me. And I need to wait till the end of the month to read it, or else I'm gonna get in a slump probably again. So I don't need, because it's big and it's the end of a series, and then it'll put me in a slump. So I need to wait until at least towards the end of the month to read that book. And then I am so excited for this book. I can't even like explain my excitement, but it is Children of Blood and Bone. I am so incredibly excited to read this. It's like, I don't know, everybody just says wonderful things about it, and it sounds so fascinating to me. And this author is like so accomplished, and I know this is going to be a good book just based on her biography on Goodreads. So she graduated from Harvard University with a degree in English literature, and then she got to go to West Africa and study West African mythology, and she went to Salvador, Brazil, and studied there. So she's like very experienced. Her research is like going to be so accurate. Like, I don't know, I'm just so excited to read it. And something I'm really excited about is the main character in this book is Black, and like, that's just, I don't understand why there's not more books where the main character is a person of color. Like, I just don't, like, every single book I pick up, the main character's white, and that's just not the world that we live in. Like, if you look at America and our world, that's just not, it's not all white people. So it's really frustrating to me, and it's just all of the time. And I have felt represented so much in my life in books, and everyone deserves to feel represented in a book. So, I mean, there needs to be more people of color as the leads in the book, not as a side character or something like that, like as a lead, lead. So it's something that I'm very passionate about, and that I feel should happen a hell of a lot more than how it happens now. So, but yeah, so excited to read this, and I'm going to make an entire vlog of me just reading this and y'all reading it with me. So yeah, I'm so excited. Or not y'all reading it with me, but watching me read it. So yeah, but I am overly excited for this book, and I cannot wait for it. And it's getting turned into a movie, and I'm just like, like, I'm so excited. So yeah, but at least I think it's getting turned into a movie. I read that somewhere, so yeah, but so excited. But I'm going to go ahead and continue reading The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. So far, I like it. I don't love it yet, but I really, really do like it, and it's very interesting. So I'm hoping it gets even better as this book gets along. So, but I will talk to y'all later. So it is a little while later, and I'm just sitting in my bed, and I have The Hating Game with me, and I'm getting along in it, but it's getting along in it slowly for some reason. I'm hoping to finish it tonight. It's already like midnight, but I have nothing to do tomorrow, so if I stay up all night reading this, it's like not a big deal. But I wanted to vlog. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing a sports bra, just in case anybody was wondering, because I know I don't normally wear something like this. I'm always in like a really big t-shirt, but yeah, that's what I'm wearing. So, in my least favorite color, by the way, my sheets are pink, and this is pink. I hate the color pink. I don't know what's going on in my life right now, but whatever. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say. Also, okay, I know I'm all over the place. I'm breaking out so bad this week. Like, I've got an active breakout here, 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 and here. Like, what is wrong with my face? Damn. But anyways, what I'm trying to say, the reason I picked up the camera is because I talked about earlier in this vlog that I have OCD in the sense that my thoughts get I obsess over my thoughts, is what I'm trying to say. And that book that I was going to read this month, Every Last Word, talks about what I have. And it's called Purely Obsessive OCD. So, because I don't have the compulsions. So, I just obsess. So, that's what it is. And so does the character in that book. So, I just had something happen. I had a full-blown panic attack, and I'm fine now. But I wanted to tell y'all what it was, so maybe you could understand better, or you're just going to think I'm absolutely batshit crazy. It could go either way. But what just happened was I'm laying in my bed reading, and my air vents are open, so I feel this rush of air on my skin, and it makes me kind of cold. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to go get a wooden spoon and go and close my air vent. And my air vent is on my ceiling. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on my ceiling and I can't reach it. So I was going to get a wooden spoon, and then I was like, okay, and I'll also go get like a little stool so I can stand on it because I'm 5 foot, so I'm super short. And I was going to stand on it, take the wooden spoon, close it. And then I thought, well, maybe I don't have to get a stool. Maybe I'll just go stand on one of the things on my bookshelf and do it. And then I thought, well, no, I won't reach it on the very bottom one, so then I'll just go up to the middle one, maybe the middle shelf. And then I imagined the shelf tipping because it's not anchored to the wall, and then me jumping on my bed to get away from it. Then I imagined me not getting away in time and it falling on me, but I catch it with my hands. Then I imagined the shelf falling on me and me getting trapped underneath the bookshelf. Then I imagined the bookshelf falling on my legs and breaking my legs and then having to get my legs amputated. Imagine the entire hospital scene and everything. Then I imagined that the bookshelf lands on my abdomen and then I have internal bleeding. I have to go into surgery. I imagined all of that. Then I imagined the bookshelf hitting me and I died instantly. And then I imagined someone trapping me on the floor, tying me on the floor, and tipping both bookshelves on me and trying to kill me. So that is like an example of what happens. And I know all of that sounds so crazy, and I did fully freak out. But this happens to me a lot. And like I said, it starts off something so small that normal people just don't think about, or they wouldn't go there to that extreme. And I spent like 15 to 20 minutes just sitting here imagining all that stuff. And it's like once I get into that spiral, I can't get myself out of it. Like I can't stop it. I try to stop it, but I can't. So I know that sounds like so crazy and weird, but these vlogs are like my diary, and that's just something that I wanted to document in these vlogs. So I know it's weird and crazy, but that's just, it's how my brain works. So yeah. But that's all. I'm going to continue reading The Hating Game and try to distract my crazy, crazy, weird brain. And yeah, so I'll update y'all later. Also, it is Wednesday. I think it's April. I think it's the 11th. I think it's the 11th. I'm not actually sure about that. But I haven't vlogged since a long time. It's been 24 hours. It's probably been over 24 hours, but I spent all day sleeping today. I have not felt good, but I did manage to finish The Hating Game today, and I really liked it. It was super, super cute. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was just super, super cute, and I really enjoyed it, so it was good. It's very good, so I really liked it. It was actually a very realistic love story. I generally don't find realistic love stories, and I have a hard time reading them because, I mean, I just like, I don't know. I just like a realistic situation, not something incredibly dramatic and crazy, and this was definitely just, there wasn't a lot of drama and conflict, and if there was conflict, it got sorted out very quickly, so I loved that about this book. It was just such a light and easy and cute contemporary, and I might even bump my rating up to a 5 out of 5 stars because this was a really, really cute book. I think the only reason it took me so long to read it, and the only reason I'm leaning towards a 4, was because when I was reading this, I was just super sick and kind of in a bad mood because of it and not feeling good, so I'm thinking that's the reason I'm trying to rate it a 4 when in reality it was a 5. And I just really, really liked it and loved it. I loved it. Like, I loved it. I don't know why I'm being so annoying. I just don't feel good, and I'm a little grumpy because of it. But I am done with this, and tomorrow I shall start another book. Or finish Prisoner of Azkaban. I can't decide. So, yeah. I will talk to y'all in the next vlog. Bye.